And boom. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. You know who I am. I am your host, Blaine Spencer. I've got my good friend from Goat Talk, my friend Marcus from Goat Talk with Marcus. Also, his new show, The Rundown. He's coming straight from there because he has nothing better to do with his Thursday night than because he doesn't want to watch the Browns and the Steelers, but which I don't blame him because that's going to be like 7-3 and an awful game to watch. But go check out The Rundown with Marcus and Peyton, my good friends. Marcus, how are we?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really good, brother. How are you?
You know, it's been a minute. You know, I thought I had lost you I thought you had died, honestly. Like, I hadn't heard from you in like 2 weeks. And then you were like, you texted me and then you were like, oh, yeah, I thought I sent this to you. But then, like,
it's been a crazy couple weeks, bro. It's been crazy. Crazy.
Well, that's because we have stuff in the works that we're not allowed to talk about yet.
That's what happened. Yeah.
But you ready to talk some sports?
Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. By the way, Blaine Spencer, terrible host, didn't see me the topics before the show. So I guess I'm just gonna find out the topics as they come to me during the course of the show. So
well, you know, if you actually like podcasting, if you should be able to, you know, like do it off the fly, and that's what we're gonna end up doing tonight. Because
excuse, do it off the fly. What you're supposed to be able to give the guests like this is what's happening. It's fine.
Oh, come on! You came on for my divisional breakdowns, and I didn't even give you a set. We have
to put this on hold. I forgot all about this. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. And we're back from what we call, I guess, an intermission, whatever that just took
something
place.
Like that. Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I just listened to Marcus and his dad's entire conversation.
We had some things we had to discuss
because he didn't know. He was like, I don't want to hop off of Zoom, but like I gotta talk.
It's not that I couldn't hop off. It's that I couldn't mute it because I was attached to the pod mic, and if I muted the mic, then I wouldn't be able to talk to my dad. And when I answered the phone, I didn't think to answer it on my phone. I answered on my computer because it just popped up. I was like, here we go. And my computer never rings because it's always on Do Not Disturb, which reminds me, I'm going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, my computer on Do Not Disturb right now so that no one else calls in the middle of the show. But yeah, just spent a very long time having a conversation that was like, and I love my dad. I do. I love my dad. 30-minute conversation.
I love your dad already. Your dad is way better than you by like 20 times. So
30-minute chat. Could have been finished in 10, but it's all good. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. He's cool. It was important things that we needed to discuss. So like it all kind of makes sense. It all makes sense.
And on the bright side, everybody, Marcus, I can officially release he's going to get a new phone. Like breaking news right there on the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. Marcus will be getting a new phone. So hopefully he can actually answer instead of leaving me on ghost for like.
Then leave you on note. So what happened is I don't have a phone number right now. I just have my iCloud email because I had to change my SIM card. Didn't work. And it's been a whole crazy thing. But yes, the next time you text me, Blaine Spencer, I will be able to respond because I'll have a phone number again. It'll be great. I miss having a phone number. You know, there's a lot of things you take for granted in life. Having a phone number has apparently been one of the things I've taken for granted so far. I've learned that today. No, phone's been dry, like bone dry all day. Now the group, I haven't gotten anything. So when I get it's been bone dry. Only thing I've been getting is Twitter notifications. That's it. My phone has been bone dry all day. Usually my phone's like toothbrush dry after you brush it in the morning and you come pick it back up at night. Usually my phone's toothbrush dry, but today was bone dry. But it's all good. We're here.
Did you? All right. Before we actually jump into talking sports, all right. Yeah. Being off the grid. How'd you feel? Did you feel left out? Did you feel at peace? Well,
I was at work. Were you? I was at work.
So you weren't even off the grid at all.
No, I wasn't off the grid. No, I was at work. So it didn't even feel like I was off the grid completely. But I mean, it is what it is. I thought it was cool. Thought it was nice.
I mean, as someone who was living in Idaho and was fully off the grid every once in a while,
that's ridiculous that you used to live in Idaho. Actually, it's insane.
Who knows? I might be, maybe I'm gonna. The goal is to eventually move back. So sorry, Washington, but
really,
yeah. Oh yeah, I want to move back. That's the spot where I was living at was perfect. Just enough social interaction to keep me from losing my mind.
Just with all the taters and whatnot.
Oh come on, I haven't even had taters in like 3 weeks. I'm kind of like my whole Idaho potato diet is like completely like lost now.
That's actually kind of sad. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I'm sorry to hear that.
It is. All right, let's talk some football.
Let's talk some football.
All right. We had some interesting things take place this weekend with Miami coming back from 21 down. Definitely more bad Ravens than good Dolphins, but Tua was
bad Ravens, not good Dolphins. Let's be safe.
Are you how bad? That defense was atrocious in that fourth quarter. There was like 4 blown coverages towards the end of that with Tyreek Hill getting wide open a couple times. Yeah. Buffalo looked dominant as ever. Philly looked pretty dominant against a Minnesota team that many thought were going to be a true contender.
Yeah.
Tommy Brady finally gets over the hump against New Orleans in the regular season anyway. And, my Washington Commanders ends up losing. Yep. Hey, man, Detroit should be 2-0. Like
they should be 2-0. I'm glad you agree. I said that on the rundown and I got laughed at.
Hey, man, I was listening to the rundown, so I'm plugging yourself
the love. There. I appreciate the love. The rundown every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Me and my guy Peyton Doyle of the Peyton Doyle's show. Absolutely did.
All right, Marcus. Lots of chew here. What is your biggest takeaway from week 2?
My biggest takeaway from week 2.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for the past 6 days now. The Buffalo Bills are going 20-0.
Actually, you think that they're not going to lose a game?
For the first time since 1972, a team is going to win all 20 games. For the first time since the 2004 Patriots, a team is going to win every game in the regular season. And for the first time since 1972 Dolphins, a team's going to have a perfect regular season and a perfect postseason. The Bills are going to win it all. There's one cut.
So you think Case Keenum is going to win those last 2 games of the year because everything's going to be locked up?
Why not?
All right. Why not? All right. What's your caveat?
There's one team left in the NFL that could beat the Bills. If the Bills go to Arrowhead in week 6 and beat Kansas City, they're going 17-0. I had the Bills losing 2 games this year. I had them losing the game against the Rams, the game against the Chiefs. They smashed the Rams. They've smashed the Titans. They're going to smash the Dolphins. I actually do, in a way, kind of hope that the Bills do win this game, because if they lose, they're going to come out of their bye week, and the night before Halloween, they might just drop 50 on my Packers in Green Bay on the 30th of October. And I don't want that. I really, really, really need the Bills to win that game in Arrowhead so they don't have 2 weeks to fester and get all angry and just let it all out on my Packers defense, because I don't need that for my mental health the night before Halloween. Halloween season is already spooky enough. I don't need it to get any spookier because of that.
All right, that's fair. But all right, so what about your Packers? You don't think your Packers have any shot then coming out of with Buffalo coming off their bye?
If they lose, no.
Well, you have them going undefeated either way, so you're giving your Packers no shot regardless.
Yeah. Buffalo's defense is fantastic,
and they don't have Tre'Davious White back yet,
which is crazy to think about. Yeah,
that's it's disgusting to think about.
This is what I do think. And I've said this when we're talking about the Bills last season. The big thing with the Bills last season was they couldn't beat good teams. It wasn't just they couldn't beat good teams; they couldn't beat teams that were run first. The Packers are looking like they're going 1-1. I know they beat the Rams, who has a run first mentality, but they abandoned the run. And I know that they played Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry hasn't been Derrick Henry so far through 2 weeks of the season. So maybe those aren't the sign for things to come. But if the Bills' kryptonite truly is a run first offense, which is what the Packers are kind of shifting towards now that we don't have Devontae Adams, there could be a fighting chance. I'd have to see obviously at that point. But if I'm going right now, the Bills are coming to Lambeau off a loss and they're smashing us. Off a win, they won't be as angry, and there might be a fighting chance. Off a loss, they're dropping 50.
All right, so that's intriguing. I think the 20-0 is fascinating. So I just pulled up Buffalo's schedule because we're gonna run through it now.
Let's.
You have them smashing the Dolphins this week.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, all this
Miami.
Tua love is going to be gone. Tua's definitely going to regress back.
Well, I mean, if I think anybody's going to look fantastic against Baltimore secondary.
That's it.
Speaking of which, the Buffalo gets them the following week, so they'll probably smash Baltimore. Sorry, Lamar. Then they host Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can't do anything. So then you said the Chiefs is the only game that you're really scared about. Then they host the Pack. Oh, and they're at home. They're hosting Green Bay. It's not at Lambeau. They're winning that game on Sunday night. Sorry, Aaron. At the Jets, that's a blowout.
Smash.
Host the Vikings,
Smash.
Host the Browns, smash. All right, this is honestly
It's not.
At Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Stop it. They're going into Detroit and they're dropping 70. Stop it. They're spanking Detroit. And I'm high on Detroit this year. I think Detroit could potentially make some noise in the NFC North as far as maybe. If things go right, potentially being the second best team in the NFC North as far as a record standpoint is concerned. But Detroit's getting smashed by Buffalo.
Then at New England, smash. Host the Jets, smash. Host the Dolphins, smash. At the Bears, smash.
That's
all right. So that
might be the worst game of the season.
Right. All right. So this is where it gets interesting. I think they've already locked up. They've already probably locked up the 1 seed by then.
Of course.
At Cincinnati on Monday night.
It's a win.
Joe, Cincy's going to need to win that game.
It's a win. It's a win.
I think there's 3.
We all know how I feel about Joseph Lee Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's a win, bro. I'm sorry. It's a win.
No, come on, bro. Everyone's going to be riding their bench at that point. You think the second stringers are going to beat Cincy? Oh, I mean, the second stringers of the Dallas Cowboys just beat them. So
do we know for sure that the second stringers are going to be in the game? Do we know that for sure?
I'm almost positive.
We'll see.
Monday night, and then they host the Patriots, and that will definitely, the season's over at that point. All right, so I mean, I had them winning 14, so
I had them officially being 15-2, but I gave them there's always a trap game, so officially my record prediction was 14-3 because maybe there's a game there they might lose.
Right
after 2 weeks of the season, they've been smashing teams left and right.
Well, when you cut OJ Howard, and he's arguably he's arguably one of the best 32 tight ends in football, even though he's usually the backup on like a really good football team like Buffalo and Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. They're just honestly, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it might be probably the biggest. That's how big of a gap I think there is. If they don't win the Super Bowl, I'm taking Buffalo over the field. That's what I mean, I agree with that takeaway that it's Buffalo over the field. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, though. I can't see it.
I put the futures on it already. I put the futures on it already.
Did you actually? How much does it pay out? I'm intrigued.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd only put like $15 on. I'm not that crazy. It's like $15.
You probably pocket a couple hundred because that's an absolutely ridiculous thing. But my takeaway is Lamar Jackson gonna get paid.
Such a lazy take from Blaine Spencer. We all know that Lamar Jackson's getting.
Well, he ain't gonna get, dude. He's gonna get like 55 a year. He's already played. If his defense could do anything, he'd be the front runner for MVP right now.
No, he would not.
Yes, he would.
No, he would not.
Oh my goodness, have you not watched football the last 2 weeks?
You not watched Josh Allen brutalize defenses.
Josh Allen threw 2 picks week 1, so he has a caveat for me. So I've got Lamar ahead.
2 picks against the team that was against the defense that won the Super Bowl last year.
And their defense.
Let's not forget that.
It don't matter. And Jalen Ramsey has got absolutely cooked, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. You know why he got cooked? Because Josh Allen was throwing the damn football.
No.
Yes. 1,000 times, yes. Josh Allen's the front runner for MVP. After Josh Allen, we have to look at Jalen Hurts as
I have Jalen Hurts in the conversation without question. He's in my top 3.
Okay, Lamar Jackson is not the front runner for MVP if Baltimore's 2-0. It's just not true.
Oh my God! If
Patrick Mahomes, it would be has a stronger claim for me.
Well, you know what? We might as well just give it to Cooper Rush then. If you're gonna say something outlandish like that, okay? If Lamar Jackson is not in, if you don't see Lamar Jackson in the conversation right now.
No. See, you're twisting my words. I didn't say he's not in the conversation. I said he wouldn't be the front runner if Baltimore's 2-0, because you start to look at the Chiefs who are 2-0. You have to look at the Bills who are 2-0. You have to look at
Mahomes doesn't have to do anything.
Mahomes had 360 and 5 in week 1, and he followed up with an absolute masterclass of a performance in week 2 against the Chargers.
Because the Chargers choked, just like how the Chargers have been doing the last 4 years.
He still played good football, and he's still 2-0. If we're talking about all the teams that would be 2-0, right? You have to look at Josh Allen. You have to look at Jalen Hurts.
I have Josh
to look
Allen.
at Patrick Mahomes.
Hurts.
You have to.
I wouldn't say Patrick Mahomes isn't in the conversation.
And I'm not saying Lamar's in the conversation, but I'm not going to put Lamar ahead of Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts for sure. I wouldn't do that. I just can't do that. I'm sorry to burst your bubble there. I apologize.
I respect.
I don't really. I'm
gonna respectfully disagree.
That's fine.
But actually, I think my biggest takeaway would be that honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. And if JT
the Commanders suck,
that was a given. We talked about this.
Terrible.
Jacksonville's gonna win the division of the AFC South.
Yeah, that's also a given.
That's not a given. It is. Did you see that Don has Indy going to the Super Bowl?
And Don's crazy. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. Now, I will admit I did have Indy being a dark horse to go to the Super Bowl because of the underrated thing. But
I did not.
They're 0-1-1. You tied with the Texans.
Should have lost to the Texans, honestly.
Dunked by the Jags. The Jags have a win. The Colts bad. Titans bad. Texans bad.
Jacksonville should be 2-0 if they could beat the Commanders.
And they would have if Trevor Lawrence didn't panic on the last play of the game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are winning 9 games this season. Book it. They might push 10.
Yeah, I can't believe I gotta agree because honestly I think the AFC South might be the worst division in football this year.
It is,
and that's saying something about the NFC least.
Yeah, well, the NFC East has 2 good football teams and the Commanders. So,
are you telling the Giants is a good football team then?
The Giants are 2-0. They've looked pretty good so far. The Eagles are 2-0. They've looked pretty good so far.
The Giants defense looks pretty good.
Saquon has looked amazing. That's not disrespect Saquon Barkley.
I'm not. Saquon's on my fantasy team. I appreciate him.
Yeah, well, okay. That's fine.
All right.
Fun.
That's fine. That's fine. We agree to disagree. But Jacksonville will win the division. Lamar will not win MVP because Baltimore won't be able to stop enough people.
Baltimore's not making the playoffs.
Really?
Really? I've said that since the beginning of the offseason. I'm not.
Who's winning the division then?
Cincinnati.
Cincy? You think Cincinnati's gonna right the ship? Well, I mean, it's not really righting the ship with how bad Pittsburgh is, so and Cleveland.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
I'm sorry, but I want to get your take on this. How bad was the Cleveland choke? How bad was that? How did Peyton take it?
Blame Nick Chubb. Excuse me for scratching my ear with my pencil, but to blame Nick Chubb is ridiculous.
Oh
Nick
my
Chubb
God! Play some defense against Joe Flacco
with 1:58, and the defense gives up 2 touchdowns in 1:58, and that's Nick Chubb's fault. Go screw yourself, dude.
Right, and it's not. We're talking about vintage Joe Flacco. I can't even say that with a straight face. How did
Joe Flacco?
Did you talk about that on the rundown? I bet you Peyton was hurting.
We did not talk about that. Peyton.
Peyton refused to talk about it.
We alternate who runs the show each week, and this was Peyton's week, so I knew Peyton wasn't going to have that on the show. Especially when you combine, like it would have been a rough night for Peyton because I told Peyton last week that Philly was going to stomp on Minnesota. He didn't want to believe me, and then Philly stomped on Minnesota, so it was already a rough night for Peyton. He wasn't going to compile that for his own trouble. So, yeah. If somehow the Browns lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight, which I don't have them doing, I do have them winning. But if somehow the Browns lose tonight, Peyton's going to hear it next week on the rundown. That's for sure.
Well, that's because you're losing to Mitch Trubisky. Honestly, you probably don't even losing to Mitch Trubisky is an understatement right now because I think Kenny Pickett is going to be the quarterback potentially by next week if they lose by a lot tonight.
We might see Kenny Pickett on the field tonight.
You think so?
It's possible. I don't think it'll happen, but we could.
I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't gone to him yet after those first 2 weeks. Those were, I mean, if it wasn't a Thursday night, I think you would maybe have seen him this week.
Sure.
If it wasn't a short week.
Sure.
All right, let's talk week 3. What's a game that you got your eye on? I know you're a Packers guy. You want to watch that Packers-Buck game? I feel like that's going to be I don't know what game. Honestly, this slate is not that great this week.
Jags-Chargers is going to be game of the week. Book it.
Jags-Chargers. Why? Because Herbert's not 100%?
No, because the Jacksonville Jaguars are a good football team. The Los Angeles Chargers are a good football team. You're going to see 2 good football teams in Los Angeles do battle. I think it's a great matchup for both teams, and I like it. I think it's going to be the game of the week.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. That was the game I did not see you picking.
Yeah, well.
I think the game is leveled with Keenan Allen not there, though. Keenan Allen being unavailable levels the game a little bit.
He'll be back. He'll be fine.
I got the Chargers win the division.
I mean, I do too, but those will be game of the week.
I think the Lions-Vikings game is going to be intriguing.
The Lions are going to win that game handily.
Handily. You don't think I think it's in Minnesota.
They'll win by I don't give a damn. They'll win by 2 possessions. They beat Minnesota in Minnesota last year.
I mean, I don't know. All right, I'm not going to write them off after how bad they looked the other night, but let's see. I mean, I got it. Amon St. Brown is this year's Cooper Kupp.
I don't know about that. But.
He's going to put up ridiculous numbers this year. Ridiculous.
I'd still lean on Justin Jefferson being this year's Cooper Kupp.
Well, I mean, I got to give kudos, but I'm not going to write off Justin Jefferson either because, I mean, Darius Slay just had probably the game of his career on Monday night.
Dude, I'm sorry. If y'all are watching this, I'm sorry. My nose itches super duper bad. And I'm sorry. I'm here, but it really itches. I was trying to be subtle about it at first. I can't. It really itches. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and you're wondering what the hell I'm doing, I'm sorry. It hurts. But we're here. We're locked in. I'm still here.
No, but I think the Vikings are going to win this weekend, but I think it's only because of Justin Jefferson, not because of. I mean, this game's going to be a shootout. Neither team can stop anybody.
Yeah.
Like the first one to 38 wins. Like how it was in that Philly-Detroit game.
Well, the Lions have scored the third most points of any offense in the NFL this season.
And that's what
71.
With Jared Goff at the helm too.
Exactly. And if the Lions have learned anything, it's that the run game is clearly what stops the Vikings, which is what we saw last week. So it's gonna happen.
All right, that's interesting. I don't know. All right, I do just want to talk about this really fast because I think this might be the worst game of the year. Texans. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I also got to ask you because you thought we both have Chicago as the worst team in football, arguably this year, and how they somehow won week 1 against a crappy. It was weather, but I'm still stunned that they did that. Houston will win that game, but I think this game might be literally 6-3.
I do have the Bears winning the game. I got to be honest.
You have the Bears winning today? Or not today, Sunday?
I do.
Why?
It's subject to change. I'll be honest. That was one of 4 games that I really couldn't call.
All right, what were the ones that you can't call? Eagles, Commanders,
smart
one. Man.
No, that's a fucking wash. Excuse my French. It is. You know it. I know it. The Commanders know it. Let's be serious. They shouldn't even show up to the stadium. Falcons, Seahawks was tough for me to call. Cowboys, Giants was tough.
Falcons are going to beat the Seahawks this week.
I don't know.
Falcons could easily be 2-0.
Kyle Pitts isn't seeing the field.
Doesn't matter. Falcons could easily be 2-0 right now. If the Falcons, Jalen Ramsey had to make a pick at the end of the game to beat the Rams, help the Rams. And they obviously did their typical Falcons choke against New Orleans in week 1. I think the Falcons will win that game. I don't trust Geno.
Hey, and I don't trust the Falcons head coach. Who the hell goes on a press conference and says we're trying to win football games? That's why Kyle Pitts doesn't get that many minutes or get that many snaps. What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, no, that was bad.
How do you try?
Whatever he's on, whatever
player on your team not available to you. That's stupid.
Whatever Arthur Smith is on, he needs to share.
Got to be good. It's got to be good stuff.
All right, what was the other game that you couldn't pick?
Cowboys Giants.
I can't believe
the Cowboys winning, but it's a toss up for me. It's the spread is 1 point. It's the Giants are a 1 point favorite in that game. It could go either way.
And that's with a backup, and that's with Dallas playing with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, well, the Commanders are like a 7 point underdog against
Philly. I know. We're covering that.
No, you're not. I can't believe you just sat here and said that on your show. You're losing by 3 touchdowns or more. Or 3 possessions or more.
Oh, come on. This is Carson's one chance to avenge himself right now.
He'll have another one later on in the season. He'll get smashed at that one too. Jalen Hurts is going to absolutely dice up the Washington Commanders defense
well, I know our secondary is atrocious. So
yeah, and so is the D-line, and so is the linebacker core. Our
D-line is not bad.
It is. It's extremely overrated. It's terrible. Talented players, though. Don't get me wrong.
Just because you're from the DC area doesn't mean you have to rip on my team.
No, I'm ripping on your team because your team is shit, Blaine. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. Why are you trying to turn it into something that it's not? There
is hope right now. We have one more win than I thought we were going to have by now.
What? Your team is terrible, Blaine. What are you doing?
Oh, I know. I've been telling everybody that if Jacksonville learned how to catch or throw a football, they would have beaten us by 3 touchdowns. But we're here nor there. All right, let's jump ships. NFL has gotten off the rails because, you know, I get emotional when it comes to the Commanders, and Marcus will not put up with any of my.
And to all you Commanders fans out there that are excited about Carson Wentz being like the 3rd highest passer in the game right now,
I hate it.
Stupid. You're stupid.
They're not actually watching the game.
Terrible. Dumpster organization, dumpster O-line, dumpster D-line, dumpster secondary, trash. Trash on trash on trash on trash on trash. The Commanders are hot garbage. Dookie. You see those memes of those dumpsters on fire? Yeah, that's the Commanders. An absolute dumpster fire of a football team, an absolute dumpster fire of an organization. They suck. 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 I'm
done. Just take that emotional sigh moment. And all right, NBA. As we have found out this week, Robert Sarver, the owner of the Phoenix Suns after 18 years, is going to be selling the Phoenix Suns as well as the Phoenix Mercury, as well due to his NBA investigation of racially insensitive language and treatment of employees detailed in the NBA investigation that concluded last week. We knew that this was something after his suspension was announced for the year, that this was probably going to go the way, but I'm still trying to figure out why Adam Silver said he didn't have the means to get rid of Sarver, but he did that for Donald Sterling as well as Bruce Levinson of the Atlanta Hawks, which was similar attributes. I'm just going to be honest. The man's a scumbag. Sorry, Robert. Sorry. You're a scumbag. That's how it is.
Dumpster human being.
Human being. Scumbag. And thank God you're going to be selling it. That's just how it is. What's your thoughts?
He's a shit human being.
Yeah, he is.
That's all I got. What's next?
I mean, I've got the only next thing I wanted to ask you was, that was quick, but next thing I wanted to ask was, why don't you think Silver tried to force him out?
Because Adam Silver's a nice guy.
But what is different from when he did with was it David Stern that did the previous two, or what?
No, it was Donald Sterling, or no, it was Adam Silver.
Then why? I still haven't figured out what.
I don't know
what his explanation of saying it wasn't.
I don't know. Maybe it's not that. I don't know. It's. I don't know. I can't even sit here and try to give you an answer because I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm reading the story right now as we're going through here, but it's the report is awful. So it's just
it's garbage. I'm still a piece of garbage. Yeah, it's terrible.
And it's bad when Chris Paul expresses disappointment and he plays for the team about the decision.
This is the second time in Chris Paul's career that the owner has been racist and he's had to deal with it.
I know. Clippers.
Yeah. Maybe it's Chris Paul's fault. No, I'm kidding. It's not Chris Paul's fault. It's not. It's not. Don't so cancel me. It was a joke. 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 Sorry. It was a joke.
That was
a joke. I'm sorry. It was a joke. I was trying to be funny. I apologize.
Brutal. All right. That was a quick subject, but I think this one will be a little bit.
Why would we what are we diving into that for? It's terrible.
All right. The biggest thing is what's happening in Boston right now.
You big dummy. Ime Udoka. You, how dare you make Nia Long look like a fool? Nia Long is a godsend. She's an American treasure. Damn it, she is an American hero. One of the most iconic actresses of the 90s and early 2000s, and you make her look like a fool. She's out there on the sidelines for you, cheering for you, screaming, and you go and you have an inappropriate consensual relationship. You should be ashamed of yourself. There's a radio station in DC. I can't think of who it is, and I can't think of the name of the person, but if you live in DC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is a name of a radio station in DC, and there's a host, and he always does this at every Friday. He gives out this You Big Dummy of the Week award. You big dummy. Ime Udoka, you are garbage. Garbage. How dare you treat the almighty Nia Long like that? Just you disgust me. Not as much as the Washington Commanders disgust me, but Ime Udoka, you disgust me as a human being.
The biggest thing that I would say, I can't, I mean, Udoka, like, what are you doing, bro? But, like, why did the Celtics leak this? It makes no sense. Why would you leak a story of when you're breaking the organization's protocol of having a relationship within the organization, right? But it's a violation of organization's guidelines. If you fire him, fine. He broke the rules. It's the part of the organization. But you're leaking a story just to potentially suspend him for a year. I think Boston, the organization's just as guilty here in this. Like, why? If you're not going to fire him, like, what's the point in releasing the story to the public in the first place?
Yeah, well, no one ever gave the Boston Celtics the award for being the most well-run organization in basketball.
Well, I never did, but, like, I don't understand why. Do you really want the public?
Blaine Spencer, that's the problem. You're always trying to understand things.
I don't understand the negative publicity. I'm trying. 2 + 2 does not equal 6, but that's how it is with the Boston Celtics right now. 2 + 2 equals 6 to them. Shut up.
That's not a good look, even though I have a math tutoring shirt on. I mean, look, the Boston Celtics. Here's the deal. They'll be fine. No, they won't. They're not going to be a championship with it, I don't think, unless they go get who's going to be the head coach? Brad Stevens is going to come back for 1 year and be the head coach?
They said it's going to be Joe Mazzulla, most likely, because Will Hardy left the team to go to coach Utah. I think Will Hardy's probably like, why did I leave? Because he would be
one of this is so right unrelated, but you said Hardy. Tom Hardy just recently won a gold medal in like jiu-jitsu or something.
I did see that.
This is the randomest thing I've saw on my Twitter feed. Like,
what a stud. Hardy.
Right? Absolutely. The greatest Tom Hardy I know. Well, he's the only
Hardy we know.
He's the best Hardy I know. That's not true. The best Hardy I know is Jeff Hardy. It's Jeff, then it's Tom, then it's Matt. Matt's a sucker. Matt Hardy's a loser. Matt Hardy's a loser. If we're talking about like Toms, I'd go Tom Hanks because he's amazing.
Okay.
Then we got to go Tom.
This show's gone so far off the rails today.
Then we got to talk about Tom Hiddleston because he plays the hell out of Loki. Amazing.
Oh, Tom Hiddleston.
No, I'm sorry. Tom Hardy, then Tom Hiddleston, then Tom Holland. I think would be my top 5 Toms.
You're putting Hiddleston over Holland. Wow.
Yes, Loki he plays the hell out of Loki. And also, I love Tom Holland, but he's not my Spider-Man.
You're a Tobey Maguire guy, aren't you?
Absolutely.
I think everybody. Most.
He's a phenomenal. He is a phenomenal Spider-Man, but he's not my Spider-Man.
And sorry, Andrew Garfield, you are last out of the 3.
It's a no-brainer. Andrew Garfield. Let's be serious. You're right. This show has gone completely off the rails. It's all my fault. We're here now, though. We're here now.
Back on to the Boston Celtics.
Sure. Let's talk about the Boston Celtics.
Where do they go from here? I'm assuming they'll still be a playoff team.
They'll still be a good basketball team.
Why would I would have?
Hey,
I mean, why release the story?
Here's the thing that I want to talk about. I gotta say this.
Okay, go.
I have to. It is related. Ime Udoka comes from the Greg Popovich coaching tree in the NBA. And while we've got this one guy that can't keep his hands to himself and can't keep his thing in his pants and he's cheating on his wife, we got this other amazing head coach in the WNBA by the name of Becky Hammon, who just coached my Aces to a championship. This is what happens when you pass up on Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon is so good. I love Becky Hammon. I love what she's done for the Aces. I love what she's done for the organization. She is phenomenal. I love her.
Well, we got to remember with the Aces, they have been right there since they've been brought into the league, and they just haven't had somebody to get them over the top. And Becky was able to do that,
I loved every second of it. Absolutely. Listen. The Las Vegas Aces. I'm sorry. This is my show now. The Las Vegas Aces are incredible. We had the MVP Asia Wilson, Defensive Player of the Year Asia Wilson, Commissioner's Cup
Hype
MVP.
yourself. There you go.
And Finals MVP Chelsea Gray. Kelsey Plum was All-Star Game MVP. Jackie Young was six-man Most Improved. This is an amazing year. There aren't that many.
They're
teams.
Deep. They're really deep.
Super. There's not that many teams in the history of the NBA to have accomplished what the Las Vegas Aces accomplished this season. I can think of the 04, I want to say the 04 Comets back in the day with Cheryl Swoops and those ladies.
Yeah.
Lisa Leslie Sparks was pretty good back in the day as well, had some great seasons. But if we're talking about some of the most accomplished single seasons in the history of the WNBA, the 2022 Las Vegas Aces are going to go down as one of the greatest WNBA basketball teams ever. And the beautiful thing about it is there's so many other pieces around the league that are up for debate, right? Is Candace Parker going to come back? What's going to happen with the Storm? Because Breonna Stewart's up for grabs. She's going to be a free agent. Sue Bird and Breonna James. There's a lot going on. The Las Vegas Aces are going to win the 2023 WNBA championship.
Going back to back.
You heard it here first. Absolutely. It's going to be the first time in a long time that a team has won back-to-back championships.
Who WNBA. Was it last? Was it the Lynx last?
It was the Sparks, I believe.
I know the Lynx went back to. Did they go?
They did go back to back.
They went back to back.
The Lynx do have a back-to-back championship. We're gonna look it up right now. Last team in the WNBA to win back-to-back
titles
championships. I believe it was the Sparks, but you might be right. It might be the Lynx. Let's see. It was the Sparks.
In what year?
The Sparks. Yeah, that's right. The Sparks went back-to-back in 2001 and 2002.
Then it wasn't the Lynx. I think the Lynx went 2 out of 3 years.
The Lynx was 2 in the last 3 years.
It was 2 in the yeah.
But geez, the Comets, the Comets, the were just incredible. Absolutely incredible. That's not the 2004 Comets. I misspoke. I meant to say it's the 2000 Comets. Four-peating. Do you know the last time we saw a professional team four-peat? Do you know how long it's been? It's a very long time.
Probably since them.
Probably. They went 4 straight. The Sparks went back-to-back. What you're talking about, the Lynx.
2 out of 3 years, right?
The Lynx won 4 of 7.
They just kept winning
every other year. They won the finals. They won in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017. They were amazing, and it was an amazing thing to witness, an amazing thing to see. It was absolutely beautiful. As an Aces fan, I am proud to announce that the 2023 WNBA champion will be the Aces. Will beat the Washington Mystics in 5.
The Mystics aren't going to get there. Sorry,
you're right. I'm just being. Yeah,
that's a homer pick right there.
Yeah.
If the let's just say the Aces go back to back, does Hammond get a shot in the NBA?
She don't need it. She doesn't need a shot in the NBA. The NBA had their chance.
She deserves the shot.
No. The NBA had their chance.
Now you're being upset because you don't want her to leave the Aces because now she's there.
It's not that. This is what I think.
No.
It's not just that. No, you're right. I don't want her to leave the Aces because if you leave the Aces, I don't know if you could leave. No, here's the thing. This is what I firmly believe this. Because we talk a lot about the WNBA and kind of all the things that can happen with the WNBA and all this stuff, right? And how they should lower the rim and all this other stuff. Look, don't lower the fucking rim. The rim's fine. The freaking rim. The rim is fine. Here's the deal. I don't want Becky Hammon to leave the WNBA and go to the NBA, right? The goal of the WNBA wasn't for it to be like this thing where like the NBA has a feeder system. It's called the G League. Okay, if there is a system to feed coaches and refs and stuff into the NBA, it's the G League. The NBA had their chance to hire Becky Hammon. When Greg Popovich was out because his wife had passed and he had taken that time off, and Becky Hammon was coaching the Spurs and doing a damn good job of doing so, they had their chance. We've seen they had their chance. The Hornets could have hired Becky Hammon. The Celtics could have done it. So many teams could have hired Becky Hammon. They chose not to. Becky Hammon goes to the Aces, who were originally the San Antonio Stars, which is, I had to think about it for a second, the Stars, which is the team that Becky Hammon played for when she was in the WNBA. So this means a lot to her from the standpoint if she gets to deliver a championship to the franchise that she played for. It makes perfect sense, right? I don't want to see Becky Hammon leave. It's not even from a me being an Aces fan standpoint. It's from, I don't want that to be the precedent. I don't want it to be the thing. Because here's the thing. Dawn Staley is fantastic as the South. I don't think Dawn Staley should leave South Carolina. There's a lot of people that think Dawn Staley should leave South Carolina to go to the WNBA. I don't think she should do that.
Why leave when it ain't broke?
She's amazing. Right. It's not broke. We got 1 year, 1 championship. She's going to do great. She's going to win the back-to-back. It's going to be amazing. Becky Hammon needs to stay in Las Vegas until she retires. She can be inducted to the Hall of Fame as a player and a coach. It'll be incredible. And then maybe down the line. But right now, no, she's got a full contract to coach out and all that stuff. And you know she's going to get extended. She's going to get extended. Because to win 1 championship in your first year, she's getting extended 100%.
And remember, it's the Davis. Mark Davis is the owner. He's going to pay that bread. He's going to pay that bread.
Shout out to Mark Davis, too. Because the day that we won the championship was a Sunday. That same day, the Raiders were playing the Cardinals in the NFL in Vegas at home, and he chose to go to Connecticut because it was a road game. He chose to go to Connecticut and watch the Aces win a championship.
As he should, because he knows the Raiders aren't going to get there anytime soon.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's I just you're right, but I just appreciate the notion because you see a lot of these teams.
He's showing the love to his team.
Right, you see a lot of these owners have multiple teams within the thing. I just love that. We have this. I love that Mark Davis decided instead of staying home in Vegas and watching the Raiders and they ultimately lost, I'm going to go to Connecticut and watch my WNBA basketball team potentially win a championship. I thought that spoke volumes, and I think that was amazing. And as the great Ariel Chambers says, the WNBA is so important. And Mark Davis exhibited that on Sunday. I love that.
From what I remember, he missed one of the games for picking the Raiders. That first
he missed one game. He did miss one game. He did miss one. But for the most part, he was at all of the games.
Yeah, he was there. I think he
did miss one. I think he missed.
Was it game 1 or game 2?
He missed game 1. I think he missed game 1.
I know he went to the Raiders game instead for that opener. I think it was
he went to the Raiders opener, but he was at every other finals game from there on out. He was at game 2, game 3, game 4, and then ultimately
game 5.
Well, no, game 2, game 3, and game 4 because you only win 3 games in the WNBA.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
What a show. I think we've covered almost everything today.
Yep. The only thing we haven't talked about is that the fact that Aaron Judge is the GOAT. Well, Aaron Jones is the GOAT too, but Aaron Judge is the GOAT.
I can't talk Yankees because I'm never going to hear the end of it from my friends from Jersey. I won't do it to myself. Fans? No, they're Yankees and Mets fans.
Look, I'm a Mets fan this year. I think the Mets are going to win it all.
Oh, good Lord. No, please.
What?
Please.
The world needs a Yankees-Mets World Series.
I mean, I've got no room to talk because my baseball team is the worst team in baseball.
Yes. You're a Nationals fan?
Dude, Oakland Athletics are worse than the Nationals right now. Think about that. Think about that.
That's not good, bud. It's not good.
No, worst team in baseball. But I don't know. I think
it's your wagon. So, I mean,
the Yankees aren't going to get there because the Yankees choke in the postseason every year.
You don't think the Yankees are going to make it to the World Series?
Nope, they won't make it because they fall every time. When they need a win, they don't do it. They fall short year in, year out.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's good. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. It could be. I just really want to see Yankees Mets in the World Series.
It'd be great for the sport.
It'd be great for the state of New York. Well, New York will probably burn to the ground, actually.
Oh, that's without question.
Because it'd be good. It'd be good stuff to see.
It would burn to the ground because they'd be burning it for losing and burning for winning.
It'd be a double burn, absolutely.
All right, Marcus. Let's wrap ourselves up and plug yourself. What's up next, and where can we find you with your GOAT talk as well as the rundown?
I honestly have no idea what's up next because it's always changing. But go talk with Marcus at gtpmarcus on everything. Go talk with Marcus, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Find it. Rundown doesn't have a home officially right now.
Right now. Can't. We're not allowed to yield that
Rundown with Peyton and Marcus. You can head over to @PD Sports or the Peyton Doyle Show on YouTube. That's where we stream the show. That is because I record way too much content and it might get lost on my feed. Peyton does.
Why don't you double post?
Because double streaming could split views, and we don't want to split views.
All right. If
It
you
won't
split the
matter.
views, you can combine the views, so it doesn't matter. Depends on your hindsight. Hindsight's 20/20, my guy.
Well, then people will be confused as to where to go. Just give them one spot to go to.
All right.
That's
Well,
what we do.
everybody, we've talked about life. We've talked about pretty much everything. And there was a little bit of sports in there on this episode of the Final Whistle Sports Podcast. As always, I am your host, Blaine Spencer. Go like, go subscribe, go leave a review. Go check out all of Marcus's content with Goat Talk, as well as the rundown with Peyton Doyle Sports. So go check all that stuff out. This is your host, Blaine Spencer, from the Final Whistle, signing off. Have a good rest of your day.